everyone, and welcome back. Are we finally getting Golgari back on top? I'm not quite sure it's there yet, but it is getting pretty close. This list I'm playing right here, it'll be in the description if you'd like to know, along with the person who played this deck list. But I got third in the challenge. Golgari has been struggling to figure out how to keep up with the value that Standard is providing for other decks, and it did pretty much what we did kind of in our last Golgari video, where we're like, man, this mono black deck is working very well with these tiny bones committing crimes with the Karavek and getting a ton of value off this, being kind of a 1-2 punch combo type things, with Tiny Bones saying when it enters the battlefield, opponent discards a card and it targets them, so that commits a crime. But whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield, it also targets him again to mill a card, deal 1 damage, which Karavek loves that because that commits a crime for this. So when Karavek comes in, this can commit a crime, have Karavek, and then we can use stuff like the rest or something if it's turn 4 to get a lot of value there. And that helps a ton with Golgari, and that's what we've kind of been missing. So other things that we have in here, and outside of it just kind of being that mono black shell, let's talk about some of the spicy cards that are in here in spots. So we have the standard kind of removal package. It's a little bit heavier, as mid-range decks have been floating around for a while. The removal has been getting a little bit more solid in terms of playing a lot more higher end removal or 2-mana removal, because most of the time our turn 1 play will be a tap land. So we want to be able to have these stronger 2-mana spells over 2-minute cut downs. And for the first card that we're going to talk about here, we have Hostile Investigator. This is a 4-mana card that actually fits a pretty good spot in this deck, at least being able to make them discard their last card. Because if we play any discard spell early or creatures need to be removed, most likely by the time this gets played, they'll be on their last card. It takes the last thing, put our opponent in top deck mode, and make us a clue so we're drawing cards with that in mind. Our bullets are outrageous robbery for things that this does. We know what this kind of does, and March of the Wretched Sorrow to help gain a ton of life if needed, or just a nice solid piece early to discard a couple things too. And having a card like Karavek to bring it back to play it again later is very nice. Actually, you cast it, so you should be able to choose what is for X, because it does not cast it for free. But again, showing back up into our decks is Graveyard Trespasser once again. And the reason why is pretty much, well, I'm going to call it free, but it's not necessarily free, but 3 ways to trigger crimes and have those abilities activate. When it enters the battlefield, targets a card in our opponent's graveyard, or when it attacks as well. So it helps our free side lookout, our free Strider Lookout, which is a card that I've been trying to figure out how to play. I thought it was going to have to be a mono green pile, but that just doesn't quite work because you don't have enough cards that target to make this kind of pop off pretty much every turn. Unlike this deck can kind of provide it. So whenever you commit a crime, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield, tap, put the rest in the bottom of your library in random order. It triggers once a turn, but in our deck, we have plenty of ways to do it on our turn and plenty of ways to do it on our opponent's turn if need be. And that's where Spelunking comes in. This card's been played a lot in Domain and the ramp decks, but realistically it's here to kind of provide value with the free side lookout, help us ramp a little bit because we do operate in that 5 to 7 mana area. And a spicy last card in here is Cease and Desist. Mainly we're playing it for the left side. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know this card existed. But exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Target player gains 2 life and draws a card. Little weird wording. You can target your opponent's graveyard and then target yourself to do the gain 2 and draw a card. So don't get kind of tricked by that. Or you can target your own graveyard, which we had to do one game because of Tiny Bones being on the battlefield. And we didn't want them to cast our Shieldred on attack. So outside of that, this intro is already long. This is a best of 3 list. We are playing it in best of 1, testing out how well it goes. And I would say that it performs pretty well. So outside of that, let's just hop into the game and see how they go. My opponent goes first. I do have removal and a duress. I keep 7. Don't look at the mana chat. It's fine. Find out right away, you know? Let's see what they're about. Invasion of Amonkhet, dude? I care about Cryptic Coat way more. Invasion of Amonkhet, sure, I'll discard a card or something, but Cryptic Coat, that like repeatability on that is just so hard for us to deal with. Let's play Demolition Field, watch him flash in this Malcolm, watch me go for the third it. Yep. Keep the board clear, have this invasion come down, we'll just discard a land. Have it be one of those days. Put it on green or something. Ooh. Well, actually, what if we spelunking first? Get a draw here. Put in one of these and put it on green. So we can have it add 1 mana to the chosen color or 2 mana to activate like our mirrors and stuff. Our opponent literally ripped back to back the combo. What? Are you kidding me? You're like, what if back to back? I just put you at 8. Thoughts? Like, oh, we're X total mana value of permanents spell targets, dude. How did they rip back to back? I can't even do anything. Right? I just cast a spell, collect evidence X, where X is total mana value of permanents target spells. Destroy up to 1 target. I can do this? Holy cow, dude. I just don't. Got 3. Like, I can't believe they just ripped back-to-back combo pieces. I'll just draw another one, dude. Just draw another bloodletter right here. What am I supposed to do, chat? What game is that? What? No shot, bro. I literally duress them, and their turn is to play the artifact creature, play a bloodletter, hit me, and then rip another bloodletter. Like the only thing is lethal there. Oh god, I guess Shieldred's probably lethal too. But either way, what? First, sure. Why not? I'll keep any pile at this point. If I get comboed one more time, dude, I'm losing 4. What you got for me? Island, sick. Play a Field of Ruin. Have this. I don't even know if it has to target anything. Sure. It is cut downable right now. So we have kind of a weird situation where it definitely could still just be this could just still be Esper, but Esper doesn't play a lot of basics, so I believe it's just blue black. They like play your. Okay. You, Cease, are going to be important, I think. Maybe not. Oh, no, you're here. You're playing the enchantment, right? That's what that's for. Okay. Yeah, we're locked in, chat. We're locked in. It's fine. In turn here. What we got? Another island. Yeah.
Too much is at stake to just sit back and hide.
We got. Comes plotted. Nice. They can't do that now. They play a deep cavern bat. That kind of sucks. Trying to think. Honestly, resolves, dude. Get it. I thought about go for the throating it, but I think I want to cease like some things in their yard and then draw a card, and then we have 8 mana worth of stuff in there for our urgent necropotency. They take it, so we cease. Take these. So we eat 2 cards in their yard, and then we gain 2 life, draw a card. We hit the land, actually. That's kind of impressive. Oh boy. I think I kind of just wait, no? Do I want to play this right into a removal spell? Yeah, I mean, it's there, big dog. I guess not, right? Let's the rest. Go for the throat. Exactly what I thought. Jace is kind of a dead card in her hand. Shredder's probably going to be played along with this guy next turn. So let's just like do that. Cast his discard against kind of like their whole board here. Hopefully they maybe discard instead of Jace. Draw a card and discard. Sure. No, it's here. A Shredder, then they'll cast this. Shredder will trigger. Sure. These don't have different like creature types, so I can't be like this is an enchantment and this is not. If that was, we would have like more value off this, because again we have 8 mana here to target some stuff. You get rid of the other Jace, which is actually good for us, but they might have found like a counter spell. Maybe I'm supposed to do it in response to this, but here's what it is. Yes. Want to bat me? Second Shredder. Sure. Let's do it now. 1 artifact, 0 creature, enchantment, 0 here. Oh, we'll just get rid of this. Others are gone. They have a Shredder. Did get Go for the Throat gone, but I'm gonna play this. I hope it sticks. It stays. They could have removal. Yep. It is ward pay too, and 2 life, so they have to have like exactly like Go for the Throat or something. They do. Why wouldn't they? You know. But it is what it is. Well, turn. We can always hit the Shredder first. This is uncounterable, so it's not like I can do anything. Get the Shredder off the board. This resolves. And because there's nothing under this, I'm just going to take the Vigilance creature out, and then you can Deep Cavern Bat me for nothing. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Play it. Hope it's good. Sorry, my opponent's nuts. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Honestly. We can actually cast this. That's crazy. I have to cut down here. Airback will trigger. I'll target this. I'll cast. Target artifact, submit 0. Target a creature, target here. 0. Now Shredder's going to trigger. I need to exile 4 mana worth. Actually, I might want to cast this Glissa, so let's just do Go for Throat and a long goodbye. 4 mana worth. And then submit 0 on this. Shredder will trigger. They're going to get a loot. Maybe they'll have a counter spell. Hopefully they don't. Did you rip a counter spell? No. Super sick. How's that gone as well? Very cool. No haste, I would imagine. So we're going to go ahead and attack. Mr. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because 1 black, they're not going to find a removal spell. Deep Cavern Bat, sure. Board center. So I can't attack. This one. Very sick. Wow, I really thought we were about to lose that game. I was like, man, they're going to end up having the counter spell for... Dude, I keep missing the button. How'd I even install the game with my aim, dude? I just like... What is this? Now my opponent's going first. So unfair. Our hand's actually really good, so we're going to keep... I mean, at least it does turn 1 play, turn 2 play. Can I stop playing against blue-black? Who did it? Somebody better speak up right now. Who's the creator? Why is everybody playing blue-black? Not my video before this being blue-black, but we don't have to talk about that. It's not me, though. I'm nowhere near popular enough to influence the meta. That's fine. There's Fairy Mastermind. Is this going to be actually more of a traditional blue-black list that we've seen thus far? I feel like every other matchup's been like this really weird variation of decks, but it's been fun. Deep Cavern Bat, sure. Just get that thing out of here. I don't even want to talk to it. Take a look. You get the glance. They probably have mana to play lands. I just like trying to make me interact with this Deep Cavern Bat, hoping maybe I do something weird. Opponent, you get to see my hand permanently. You can stop looking at it, please. Thank you. Like, you can look at it right now. You didn't have to wait. There you go. Sick draw. You know what creature's hard to get rid of? This one. I guess I could long goodbye it. That card's been kind of popping up a little bit in popularity. Speaking of which, speaking of new cards, you know, long goodbye, not quite new anymore, but maybe new to some players. Where is my ramp spell? Where is it? Sure, man. You think I can cut down this? Probably not, right? Children most likely will get removed here, if I had to guess. Target you. It's Esper? Do that, chat. Don't worry about it. It's all neutral. They didn't have instant speed removal for Shieldred, so that's pretty sweet. I'm pretty pumped on that. The best part about Shieldred is that even if they do play a Rafine, Shieldred can still block because of Death Touch. So it doesn't matter. We are weirdly in this like kind of card disadvantage situation where they have cards from their graveyard. If our graveyard trespasser gets to attack, we're sitting pretty good. Show me the Rafine, man. I know you have it. Oh no, they played a Rafine. Whatever will I do? Are you going to attack though? You are. Hoping to rip that removal spell, I imagine. But it doesn't like net you life. Pause here is resolving Rafine. They don't get to interact. They have to pick a spell. No way, dude. Maybe there's a way. I don't know. I mean, Graveyard Trespasser is definitely attacking no matter what to get that off the board. Or I can just exile it, I guess. I guess I could just also cut down this. Yeah, I mean, let's just cut this down. Resolve. I mean, it has to be a make disappear, and if it is, like, I don't care. Attack. Exile Denick, of course. Drains and gains, and we hit. Then now we can use this cease to maybe exile some spells, especially if they have a reanimate, but I don't think they will. Let's just do this to draw though if we can. Just get Shieldred out of the yard. Target me, actually. I prefer to be targeted. I like drawing cards. Card draw, big fun. Alright, opponent. Have at thee. Sick. Both. I would like to put in this one. I can name green. I'm not gonna lie, didn't think I'd get this far, so I just wasn't worried about it. Or I would have played just Spelunking. But I guess I would also have to have hit a land too, you know? No, what? Come back here right now. Man, I'm having fun. Golgari feels good again. And outside of getting world starred in match 1, I feel pretty good. I don't think his hand's keepable as much as it's like not horrible. I just don't think 2 Glisses is where I need to be. I was like, I hit Maul, right? Keep here. Yes, you. I don't really have a way to get you online, so I guess it should be the opposite. But at least I have value with this card, no matter what. Nothing like mauling at best of 1 and then your opponent play a Hopeless Nightmare. Keep Cavern at me. No? Oh, look, we drew it. We're nuts. When one or more other creatures dies, draw a card. This ability. Or other creatures? Okay. I don't know what my opponent's playing. I'm scared. I'm crying and I'm whining. No worries, chat. We can do it together if you'd like. We can all cry together if you'd like. I have to imagine this is for braids. That card kind of sucks. But do I actually have enough to answer both these? So they can't like, because on one hand, I would like to get rid of this just because of braids. Is that worth it? Maybe. Maybe it's not. Just like force them to do it. Then I'll just like maybe sack my spelunking, I guess. Or maybe I should just take it out. Yeah, why not? Because if there's a braids, like, I'm so much more nervous. Let's just get these out of here. Sure, go ahead and scry. I think braids is like one of their ways to get back in, and I kind of enjoy spelunking in this deck whenever two on top. You know, if two go on top, it doesn't matter, right, chat? They were gonna draw them anyway. Sure. Hi, children. If they play another thing like Hopeless Nightmare, I'm getting rid of the duress, but that requires them to play another Hopeless Nightmare. It's shielded. I don't know. I would say, I don't like. Sure, I have this, but you forced me to use it on a deep cavern bet. Tough. Tough calls.
This is my home,
No activation.
And I don't appreciate it when people touch my things.
You have it. I kind of figured. I have no idea what I want to do. Kind of lose this shielded. I should have just held the rest to be what I discard. Sure. I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to discard both these anyway. Like, it's all getting discarded. Doesn't really matter. I will force them to plus their Lily. Also, perfect draw, by the way, to go with what's currently happening. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Draw.
We all have things we'd rather
Sure.
forget.
Turn. You have like options. Dead card. This is perfect. So now if we rip a land off the top, we can bring up this cottage and hit this Liliana. And it enters untapped. Let's go. Here. I have no idea. Just one of these are random.
You know,
Down to one on Lily.
there's a corpse.
Another dead card. Please, opponent. Please don't be a shielded. I will discard my card. I can at least force them
I'm tired of your
every turn.
secrets.
Sure. Now I can keep attacking here. And we just kind of hope that eventually they hit a land instead of having a beetle to kind of protect us Lily. I'll probably end up sacking this at some point. Yeah, so you need 2 mana, like outside of the draw space, so we need 3 in total. Or I just use this, but I made it a green for whatever reason instead. Yep. Could have made this a black, so my draw pits would activate just off this one land alone.
We all have things we'd rather.
Yep. Bring this up. We know what to do with this. Play the game, you know. Beetle. You'll probably get the shielded out of there, but it's fine. Field rune. In turn. Liliana number 2. I'm just guessing. Sure. Draw a card. Hey! I'll match you. Bar for bar. Right now. Target you. Discard. Right down. Sure. Bring this up. I'm having it go face. I could draw another card off this, but it's fine. Wow. Look at this go, chat. Quite the game. You guys were ready for this, right? You guys were prepared. This is exactly what you wanted, right? I'm not gonna lie, this is actually kind of horrifying. Never mind, we're fine. Like, kind of fine. It has death touch, but you know, it is what it is. Let's do this. Let's do no, 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 no. Do this. Let us go in our graveyard. See what we can't hit. It's just permanent spells, right? We'll just actually hit our Shieldred. Right? I think that's all we have. Other than obviously like this. But we'll target ourselves. But not targeting them is not a crime. I just didn't want this to be able to hit me. And if I don't have to block, I don't want to. Why? Sure. Good play this. The double scry to the bottom. That's a... Oh, Tiny Bones will trigger this. Yes, let's go. Airvac. We're getting... Oh, it's over. Honestly. If there was a point where this game was over, cut down. This would be it, by the way. We'll put in Mirix. Keep making threats. We'll get this out of the way. Airvac will do something if I want. I'm at 0 for now. Don't need it to kind of do anything anymore. Move to combat. Attack. And this is where this land comes important because now it can activate my Mirix almost by itself. Make another thing. Do the combat. Now we have the removal. And then bring up the land. I almost forgot to. But bring up the land, attack. It'll target committing another crime. Wow. We actually got out of that game. That's quite wild, I think. But it is what it is. Oh, very cool. My opponent goes first. It's so weird. Oh, man. The mana base in this deck, because these Sunken Citadels, is so awkward. A little bit. Yeah. Am I surprised I'm on the draw against mono red? I don't think so. Is anybody surprised I'm on the draw against mono red? I don't think so. We'll see if we can't recover, though. Slick shot straight up. Fantastic. Pass. And we have to go for the throat. Sure. Third land. Mono. Sure. Huh? I just put nice. Yeah, make him feel really confident. Nope. Weirdly enough, this is actually less damage, so I gotta remove this. This is 5. The other card was gonna be 6. Gamp? Sure, why not? The lookout and the Shieldred? Go for it, then. Got me the lightning strike. I mean, I guess. I just take the gain 3 here. Probably, right? No card in hand. What a kind of what a kind of an awkward time to hit that, right? This is a spirit. This is a shoot. Only 2 mana. This is 1 and 1. That's actually kind of wild. I think I take the top deck chance, play this, and then use this here in a second. Land, please. Land, correct, opponent? Another scam, sure. We actually want to leave this, weirdly enough, because it's an enchantment. We block like this. Because this can remove the enchantment plus another creature. Now we gain 2. Now we're killing pretty well, I think. I would love to... I should have played Sunken Ruin. I don't know what I'm doing. Obviously, I could attack with this. I can block with it, too. But this is instant speed, so I don't have to do anything. Stay here. Stay here and be a good boy. Sure. Now my plan might change ever so slightly. Because they kind of showed me already. Because now I can just block here. Do this. 0. Here. 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 2. Sure. Yep, that makes sense. But we get the backup Kamano off the battlefield, and then also answer their 2/2 with only taking 2, and which will gain the life back. Play the Sunken Ruin tap because I'm an idiot, and go from there. Opponent goes first. Ooh, I am horrified. We'll probably lead off with the draw spit. Ooh, I'm actually scared. Wait, right, take it back, chat. Wait a minute. Oh, I don't know. Let's throw him a curveball. Play this one. This would be a hand to draw spelunking. Under that, play Picnic Ruiner. Give me a target. Ah, you. Honestly, having cut down is actually super sick here because now I can play this draw spit. Cheating. Cheating. I think you're cheating. This does get weird. They didn't hit a lane. Never mind. You're good. Come back. You're not cheating. I promise. I was like, oh no, dude, I'm about to get tucked. Obviously they'd lose this, but I was like, they're gonna play a slick shot or something with land, and I'm not gonna be able to cut it down. I'm so scared. And they hit cards I couldn't cast, no land. So very sick. Ooh, I actually like his hand. Just looking maybe for a land. Discard, not that great. Never mind. Discard, fantastic. This is like, can I draw duress, please? I want to draw duress and Caravag like all this. Sure. I would like to get this one and this one, actually. Main board hate? Not me. I would never. I would never play main board graveyard hate. This is actually going to be huge here. Because now I can long goodbye, commit my crime, hit another land drop. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I want you to look at me. I'm listening to Fireflies by Owl City right now. I'm having a good time. The gate's also not available here, which is super sick. Ugh. Why just like eat some of the lands? Because like realistically, even if I remove this, they still have the other one because I didn't hit a land, and I don't have a way for them to come in untapped. Obviously, getting a Caravec down at some point is going to be huge. Let's play this. We're going to name black, even though I have one green source, but that's not that relevant. Let's go in here, here, and here. And then I would like to draw. A land, chat. Now, this center is tapped, right? You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Okay, so we might as well take the cottage. Like, if there was a card to take there, we might as well take the cottage. You know what's really good with Tiny Bones? Caravec to easily trigger this. Discard a card, please. It's probably a land. Third Memory Deluge? Sure, why not? Honestly, get in there. You got it. Play a tap land, please. Honestly, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, it does. Because if they play a tap land, I get Caravec and then bring back this Cease and just eat the... I'm in danger. Help. Sure. Is this going to be the third Aftermath Analyst? That'd be so sick. Honestly, the problem is, I don't even want Tiny Bones to target my opponent. Because the more lands they put in there, like, the more horrifying it is for me. Sure. You playing it? Do you think... I hate Fires of Victory, dude. Makes me so upset. Problem is they have such a pop-off chance here. But, I mean, I'm taking the risk. You. I would like to draw. Thank you. That's mid-0 here. Okay. Sweet. You have a land in your last 3 cards. Now, don't get me wrong. Aftermath plus another sack land is pretty good if they have one. But if they don't have one, then I'm going to start terrorizing this match. Echoing Deep can't even copy a land. There's none in the graveyard. And they can't memory deluge currently. Sure. Nice. These putting in the work. That's why this deck plays them. But now I get the Graveyard Trespasser, eat these memory deluges, and then eat the other memory deluges off the other cease if I want to. But realistically, gotta start long goodbying some of this stuff. There is a basic island in there, and you don't have a green mana. Real-time explosion, sure. You want to blow up all of our creatures. That's fine with me if you want to do that. I'd actually be more pumped that you did. That makes sense. This just means they had to draw another one, right? So they just have a dead one in hand. I think there's 0 chance they attack with Nissa if they don't just have another one. I get to do some crazy stuff here. Cut down. They have 5 mana. Mid-0 here, I guess. And then I can play Graveyard Trespasser. You cut down again, target another. Or let's just be smart about this. Get them all off the battlefield. So I just don't have to worry about the combo turn as much. And I'll just submit 0 in there. Get all these gone. I'll just take trades. They have one more. They have no more aftermaths, so they can't even do like the combo. They have to have target creature. I guess they can virtue. So I need to start exiling them from the graveyard. So my plan, instead of going after like the memory deluges, even though they're good, is to actually go after these analysts in the graveyard. Even though I guess if they virtue me enough, they could just do it. They revealed like their entire deck. Sure. Yeah, I'm probably just dead to a World Soul here. Which is kind of tough, but it is what it is. Royal artifacts and enchantments. Too much mana for me. I'm just dead to a World Soul Rage. That's tough. I just can't get this virtue off the battlefield. I mean, I guess. Just go for it. I'm probably just dead here. I feel like I did everything I could. Submit 0. Didn't instantly good game me, so that feels good. It is what? 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, well, I guess it's 3 times 6. So it's 18. I'm just dead. A little less. We did see a couple get revealed earlier, but I just don't know if they didn't do the math or something. They wiped the entire board. Wild. I wasn't ready for them to reveal the entire board. How much mana I have? If I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I can't Caravac and do the other thing. I don't think it means they have it. Black here. Can I attack with this? No, because I'm still dead. Guess this one. Target you. Commit. Is this worth? No, I don't think so. It's probably not even casting this. Decline. No land. Here's a Shieldred. I guess maybe ceasing them away because they only have one card in hand. Well, do you have it? Asking them if they'd like to draw. This Memory Deluge? This is 12? It's so close. They're Memory Deluging now to maybe find an answer for my Shieldred. A draw, go to 11. And with these Sunken Ruins in play, I can actually bring up both my cottages here. So if they Ill-Time Explosion, discard. I might be dead off that Spelunking. Because now it's 6. They get 6. Gain a lot of life, I guess. I don't know how many more basics and stuff they have. I'm not trying to do the math. I took all those out. Oh boy. I come away beating the final boss. 1, 2 basics at least. Ooh. Interesting. It could have been a check. They could have been looking for him. They go to 10. I still have lethal. Even if they ill time. Especially here, because like Shieldred's going to deal 4. But they must have another virtue. I'm getting so lucky right now. I do think like hindering their mana early helped out a lot to win this game. If I end up winning here, of course. But I also think I'm getting pretty lucky on the fact that they either didn't have the World Soul Rage when it was just lethal. Yeah. Because again, they had enough off their mana. Wow. Unless I miscounted. I didn't miscount, did I? Because 6 times 3 is 18. You minus 2 for the red and the green. So they... 18. You minus the red and the green, so it's 16. I don't know. But we did definitely, like, trim all their lands out, as you could tell from this pile. Like, look how much we actually was able to exile... with this. I think I was probably, if they didn't World Soul Rage me last turn, I'm probably supposed to just kind of take that gamble and cease like the extra Memory Deluges in their yard or something. But it's so hard to tell sometimes what you're supposed to do. All right, I have to check one thing, chat. I play 26 lands. Okay. So there's 2 losses that will not probably show up in the video. I want to be very transparent about it. Also, hello? You were in my deck today? I just like forgot you were too? Okay, cool. But I lost 2 games today against, I don't even remember what it was against, but I was like on the draw, kept a 3-lander, never saw another land in 7 draws, and I lost. It came down to me being like, I'll play a free side lookout. One of them was mono red. They lightning striked it. Next turn, I drew another lookout. I played it. They lightning striked it. I played a 3rd one. They killed it, and I died. Like, I just couldn't draw a land or any of like my lower removal to kind of help me in those matchups. So it was just like a non-game, and the other one was exactly the same thing. I literally kept a 3-lander, played all my lands, and then didn't see one for the next 4 or 5 turns, and it was against like Boros Convoke, and I was like, okay, I guess I lose. But outside of that, it actually did really, really well. Golgari keeping up with this trend of being just a lot of 3 drops and a lot of random counts of cards in a lot of different places. As you can tell, we barely play any 4-ofs. So we have obviously the cut down for 2. I've actually liked trimming on this card a lot lately. I think a lot of our decks are good at just being like, listen, we're going to play a tap land turn 1 more often than not, so cut down's not going to be held up anyway. So why not just hold up something more valuable like a Go for the Throat or Long Goodbyes? And that's actually helped Long Goodbyes fit into Decklist, which is very cool. So I've actually pumped about that. And then 2 to rest. This is typically like a best of 3 card because it can just be sideboarded out and stuff like that. As you can see, this sideboard. With that said, this plays 3rd in a challenge, by the way. That's why we're playing this list. We're trying it best of 1, but it plays 3rd in a challenge. It's very cool. So the rest, very good. It's actually good in a lot of matchups because even the most aggro decks are also playing instants and sorceries. It's not necessarily like there's mono white humans floating around often. At least I'm not seeing mono white humans very often. And with other decks coming around, like the artifact deck, the infinite combo deck with Boros playing like the cases or the world enchantment, whatever it's called, like the rest hits those, the rest and a lot of other matchups hit lightning strike, play with fires. In this matchup, like if I played the mirror, it would hit any removal or any other topping card sometimes, like even like this. But outside of that, like, I mean, the rest is actually finding a place in people's main board, and I think it's actually valid right now to play it along with Tiny Bones. Tiny Bone joins up is kind of our free way to commit a crime, especially when we have a free side lookout. This not being legendary is actually kind of hurting it in this deck because obviously it being legendary with a Tiny Bones joins up. This enters the battlefield, triggers the Tiny Bones, it immediately triggers this. But without that, we kind of have to wait, and this is at that 3 toughness area, which is a little vulnerable. I personally like my 3 drops to be 2/4s almost more than anything, unless they have kind of protection like the Graveyard Trespasser does with being a 3/3, but also can flip into a 4/4. Or like, as you can tell, like Caravex sits at that 3/3 spot, but playing Dryad of the Elysian Grove has got me loving 2/4s, so also Preacher as well. But other than that, our removal package, like we said, is 4 Go for the Throats, 2 Long Goodbyes, and a march to kind of gain life in those aggro matchups that are tough to deal with, and an outrageous robbery for our control matchups maybe, or just kind of in situations like we were playing there, it would have been very nice because we had a lot of mana. We can pump a lot into this and then just take over the game with our opponent's cards, which is very, very cool. Graveyard Trespasser finding itself back into the meta not right before, but it's the curtain's coming to a close on Graveyard Trespasser as the rotation's coming up for them. But Graveyard Trespasser finding its way into another deck, and the reason why is because it is a crime committer for free pretty much, because it doesn't have to specifically target a creature in the graveyard, and it's also awkward for a lot of decks to remove. So when we play the Lookout, after we play a Trespasser for the turn, we can attack the Trespasser, triggering the Lookout, or doing it the opposite way, where we have a Lookout first, we draw a Graveyard Trespasser, play it, target a card in their graveyard, and it works very well. Along with the Caravex here, kind of the same rule applies, is Caravex can come in, enter, triggering Tiny Bones, commit a crime. Or Graveyard Trespasser attacks or enters after we play Caravex, commits a crime, does everything we want. Blunking a 2 of Splash in this deck, which is very interesting, I thought. But it makes so much sense when you have a free side lookout to not only have a Splunking in play, but say we duress our opponent, commit that crime, go look at our library, we grab a land off of it, it enters untapped, so now we're able to Long Goodbye and go for the throat something instead of having a slower kind of turn. But other than that, we have a card that I have not personally played yet outside of this deck alone, and it actually made quite a wave, I think, in the Pro Tour because of how well it was kind of performing. It fits that weird spot where, like, at 4 mana, making your opponent discard a card while also putting a threat in play and having value when your opponent does discard a card. It's so good. So whenever one or more players discard one or more cards, investigate. This ability only triggers once each turn, so it triggers itself. We get a clue. Now we can draw cards, especially against decks like Liliana, for example. This is so nice, where our opponent might make us discard, but they also discard, and we make a clue, and then we're drawing cards off of that. Or if it fits that weird category of like aggro's roughly going to have 1 to 2 cards left. With our deck, it's most likely going to be 1. Therefore, hostile investigator makes them discard their last card and clears the way for something like a Shieldred or a Gissa in terms of our end game closer if needed, if our lower to the ground stuff can't get there, along with the Restless Cottages. So this card actually is splashed in here, and the reason we're able to kind of afford to play this as like an instant speed, clean up everything, is because we're also playing Cease and Desist. So the reason why it's so good in this deck is, one, as you saw, it can exile lands and stuff in graveyards or things our opponent's trying to reanimate. If they choose to bring it back, we can exile it immediately, and we can buy time in the matchups we need it to. And with Karavak doing this constantly, especially at instant speed, because Karavak does not care, we can do something at instant speed to commit a crime, like remove a creature or something, and then cease and remove the stuff from the graveyard again. And we gain 2 life and draw a card. And he doesn't really care because we'll lose 2 life and gain that 2 life back. But other than that, this counts as 8 mana in the graveyard as far as this card is concerned. So very easily you can play this early, get it in there, and then use this later and have the evidence be 8 just off this card alone, which is pretty much enough mana to remove anything that we need, even if we're targeting 3 permanents or so. So outside of that, here's the sideboard. It'll be with the deck list. I'm just going to have it linked to the challenge deck list of the person who played the list. So we're going there instead of in my personal one. But I'm probably going to make a personal one anyway, because this is a great list, for at least for me, who loves Golgari. And to see it kind of get back on top and in that top 8 again is very, very cool. So outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll catch you on the next one, and thanks for watching.